Hello everyone, this is Akshansh and today we shall discuss political science and international relations, that is PSIR as an optional. So how is PSIR as an optional? So as we know in your UPSC mains examination, your score decides what rank are you getting, whether you are making to the final list or not. So if we see the pattern of the UPSC mains examination, then we can see that there are four GS papers. There are four GS papers. Along with them, we have essay paper. Then we have optional. Although we have two language examinations as well, but their marks are not counted in your final marks. So these seven papers, these seven examinations decide what rank are you getting and whether you are getting selected or not. So in case of these five papers, GS4 GS papers, as well as in case of essay, all the candidates they have no choice, they have to go through the exams. And in GS, if you see, they lie somewhere in this bracket. So if you prepare, you can score somewhere between this in GS exams. On the other hand, in essay as well, you can prepare and you can score average or above average marks. But in case of optional, if you have good hold on your optional, if you have good control, good command on your optional subject, then you can get very high marks. So optional subject carries 500 marks, and out of these 500, if you get 300 plus marks, then chances are high that you shall make to the final list. So this optional plays very important role in your final selection as well as the rank you are getting. So here we should discuss why to take PSIR optional. And so before going through the viability of any optional, what we should analyze, popularity of that optional. So UPSC releases annual reports every year. And in the latest annual report that is available on the website of UPSC, we can see that we have the records of the data of the mains civil services mains examination of 2020. So in that examination, it is given that more than 1800, around 1863 candidates, they took PSIR as optional. So out of around 10,000 people who appeared in mains that year, 1800 plus students, they appeared with PSIR optional, and 154 of those students actually made it to final list, actually got selected. So if you can see, around 20% or around 90% of people, they took PSIR optional, that is 1/5. So 1/5 of the people, 1/5 of the candidates appearing in mains examination in 2020, they took PSIR as an optional, and around 20% or around 19%, that is again around 1/5 of them got selected. So around 1/5 of the candidates that got selected that year, they were from PSIR optional. So you can see it is widely chosen by those who got selected. Again, if we go through the data of previous year available on the UPSC website, that is 2019, then again we can see that around 1662 people took PSIR optional, and out of them 137 actually made it to final list. Comparatively, if we compare it with geography optional, that is also one of the largely taken or widely chosen optional, then 1916 students or candidates, they took geography optional, and 105 of them made it to final list. So you can see that here lesser number of people are going for PSIR optional, but more number of people are actually getting selected. So the ratio, the success rate is also higher as compared to geography, that is one of the widely chosen optional. So again, if we go through the list of top 130 candidates, top those candidates who got top 130 ranks in the UPSC final result of 2021, we can see that highest number is from PSIR. So not only highest number of people, good number of people are getting selected from this PSIR optional, but they are also getting good ranks, 130 plus. So among top 130 candidates in 2021, 23, that is highest number of them were from PSIR optional. So here we can see that PSIR optional is widely chosen, it is popular among the candidates, and success rate is also very high, and scoring or ranks are also very good. Even this year, so the final results of the UPSC Civil Services examination of 2022 were declared a couple of weeks back. So this year also the rank 1, the lady who got rank 1 is also from PSIR optional. So factors, so popularity and success rate of an optional is one thing, but you must look around, you must look for certain factors while choosing an optional. So you must be very careful while choosing an optional, because it may decide your rank and whether you are getting selected or not. So leave aside popularity. First thing is interest, whether you are interested in that subject, whether you are interested in studying the concept of equality, rights, liberty, etc. Right? So what is your level of interest in that particular subject? That should be your primary factor while deciding your optional subject. So if you are interested in in studying these factors, these concepts, these ideas, then you can go for PSIR optional or whatever. If you are interested in geography, you can go for that as well. But first factor while choosing an optional you must keep in mind is interest, whether you are interested in that subject, whether you like studying that subject. Then another factor is time management. As we know, in UPSC the syllabus is very vast syllabus is there, and there are 7 papers in in mains. So between prelims to mains, and during your preparation as well, you have to study a lot of subjects. GS1 3 subjects, GS2 3 subjects, around 5 subjects in GS3, then ethics. So it is more than almost 12 subjects. So for that purpose, then along with these GS subjects, you have to prepare for your optional as well. So you must consider whether your optional shall help you in managing time, whether any of the topics given in the optional help you in preparation of your GS subjects, right? Whether it is helping you in preparation of your GS subjects, how, whether the syllabus of that optional is overlapping with the syllabus given in GS, right? So if the syllabus of that optional is overlapping with the syllabus of GS subjects, then you have to give less time, right? Within in less amount of time you can prepare for both of them simultaneously. You can prepare your optional and simultaneously you can prepare for GS. So these factors you should also keep in mind. Apart from that, you have to look into the availability of the resources, right? So when we choose any optional, when we take any optional, we should keep in mind that whether good faculty, good content, good test series, and all the other sort of contents, all the other sort of resources, are they available in the market? Because sometimes we choose such an optional that we are not able to find good amount of resources for preparation, and ultimately we end up scoring very low. So while choosing an optional, these are the factors you should also keep in mind. So what are the factors? First and prior most factor is interest, whether you are interested in that subject. Then whether your optional is helping in your GS preparation, whether it is overlapping with the GS syllabus. Then availability of resources, good faculty, good content, test series, all the things, whether they are available or not. Only then so these are the primary factors, you should keep in mind while selecting your optional. So now we shall discuss how the PSIR optional can help you in preparation in your GS as well. So if we see GS1, in GS1